Waterworld becomes first Colorado theme park designated as Certified Autism Center. Well, I guess I know where I'm going next summer. I'm Steven from Tostemac, and welcome to the Tostemac Autism News, where we cover the latest news involving autism. Today's article takes us to Denver, Colorado, where, as the title just said, Waterworld has become a designated autism center, which is incredible news for the autistic community. Let's go over the full article together, and you can read this yourself by clicking the link in the description down below. Waterworld is a beloved place for many Coloradans with a long and rich history of serving the community. The park is full of fun summer sounds, tastes, and smells, and it has plenty of things to touch and see. When COVID-19 closed Waterworld during the summer of 2020, the staff kept busy with several new projects. One of those included making the park more inclusive for people with autism. Kimberly Botelho, and if I mispronounce the name, I sincerely apologize, and her daughter Sloan love to visit Waterworld. Sloan was just diagnosed with autism in February. A lot of times we get asked what's going to help when she goes into meltdown mode. Unfortunately, my response is, I don't know because every day is different, said Botelho. It can be really difficult to navigate a place like Waterworld. There's a lot of sensory stuff going on, said Lee Ann Paskvalish, again, if I mispronounce the name, I apologize, of the Colorado Autism Society. To better serve guests with autism, Waterworld has implemented a number of new features this year, including a low sensory room located on a hill just above the Thunder Bay Wave Pool. It provides a quiet place for a family to go if they have an autistic family member that needs a break from the stimulation of the park. The room is painted in muted colors and has soft furniture in addition to air conditioning and the ability to play music. There are also other features including a number of sensory toys and large windows so that it doesn't feel like you've left the park. It can be a real lifesaver. Just ask Patty Butchard. She's a regular at Waterworld with her son Ronnie, who has autism. On a recent visit, she had to use the room when Ronnie had an episode. Without the room, I probably would have had to pack up and go, said Butchard. In addition to the low sensory room, there are other things the family with an autistic member can utilize to help make the experience as good as possible, including a pass to expedite entry into Waterworld. There's also a guide that rates all attractions on touch, taste, smell, sight, and sound. You can download a copy here. I would highly recommend it. Waterworld received a national accreditation as a Certified Autism Center, becoming the first theme park in Colorado to achieve that designation. Several team members are trained in a variety of areas to help someone with autism, including sensory awareness. And there's the full article on what Waterworld is doing for the autistic community. Now, what are my thoughts on the matter? I have nothing but absolute respect for these guys. They really went above and beyond for the autistic community because they could have easily stopped at the low sensory room and just left it at that. But these guys, they went even further. Like, I actually downloaded the guide from the article, and this isn't just like 5 or 6 pages. This is a full-on guide, 42 pages worth, talking about what services and accommodations they can provide for families of autistic children. And they have a list of all the attractions that they have in the place, which include a sensory guide. The way the sensory guide works is that they split it up into 5 categories: touch, taste, sound, smell, and sight. And they rate it on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the least sensory energy and 10 being the most sensory energy. With this guide, essentially families can take a look at the list and see, maybe we can go to these certain areas, it would be fun. Or maybe they can go to or look at other places and be like, maybe we should avoid those, maybe it's too energetic. So essentially, if they look through this guide, they can see what Waterworld has to offer and plan their trip accordingly to have the best experience possible. It's absolutely incredible. Like, can you imagine the amount of time and research that it would take to provide a sensory guide for each and every attraction in Waterworld? That, I seriously doubt that could be easy, but they were able to pull it off. So I absolutely respect these guys. It is amazing, awesome. I cannot praise it enough. Now, as to why they're doing this, well, the first reason, as we're seeing, is to cater to the autistic community, which is a very large audience. And the other reason? Come on. You and I both know what it's all about. Money. Money! At the end of the day, Waterworld, like any other amusement park, is a business. A business's goal is to make a profit. That means catering to as much of an audience as possible and making sure they have the best experience possible and they have a reason to come back. And with the pandemic that unfortunately we're still going through ever since 2020, they need to think about making a profit now more than ever. Because if big, well-known names like Chuck E. Cheese went out of business due to the pandemic, then no business is safe. The businesses that can adapt, can grow, can cultivate, and cater to the audience that they're serving, those are the businesses that will survive in the end. And the accommodations for the autistic community that they're doing in Waterworld is gonna go a long way. Trust me on this. Now, what would I change or what would I recommend? There's only one thing I would recommend, and that is to maybe have more low sensory rooms scattered throughout the park. And there are a couple reasons why. One is, I saw the video in the article, so they show the inside of the low sensory room and it's not really that big. Probably enough for like one family. So if there's more than one family that's having an autistic child having a meltdown or an episode, then they may have to wait in a line possibly and wait for the other family to be done. And we don't know how long that will take. It varies from person to person. And the other thing is, let's say you're on one end of the water park and the autistic child has a meltdown. And then we look at the low sensory room, maybe it's on the other end of the water park. That could take a while to get there, and who knows if the meltdown could be potentially worse before you get over there. So if you have more low sensory rooms scattered throughout the amusement park evenly, then it'll be more helpful for families of autistic children. That way they don't have to wait in line and they don't have to go a long distance just to get to this one spot. But that's just my recommendation, and who knows, maybe they're already thinking about it. Maybe they just added this low sensory room recently and they're trying to figure out where in the amusement park they can put the other ones, because I feel like placements of those areas are going to be very crucial in terms of like where they're located and how much energy that area has. Well, we'll see what happens. All in all, I love this idea. I would love to visit this water park at some point, but what do you think? Do you agree or disagree? What are your thoughts about all the accommodations and services that Waterworld is providing? Would you like to go there? Let us know in the comments section below and let's have a conversation here. And on that note, it's time to end the video. Thank you very much for watching. If you like what you see, consider subscribing to Tostemac to stay up to date on our latest videos. And until the next one, see you later.